Hello, I'm David Hart, Executive Vice President at the Florida Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. Our special guest today is the Chairman of the Senate Education Pre-K through 12 Committee, John Legg. Senator, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Senator, I want to ask you about the global economy we live in today and how that ties back to the importance of education. You know, our children today live in a world where they're no longer competing just against students in their own school or their own neighborhood. They're now competing for economic opportunity in the future against children studying in China and Brazil. And I think the Florida Chamber and our members recognize that global competitiveness, and it means that education's become a competitive imperative that we get this right. What do you see happening this session on education that the business community ought to know about?
Well, quite a few pieces of legislation are filed, but to get to your point, you know, we're no longer in an industrial society. We're an information-driven society, an information-driven economy. So we want to make sure that our students are prepared to compete in that information-driven economy. We have three real significant kind of pillars that we're working on this year. One is a review of the testing and teacher evaluation proposals that have been in the past and are being implemented now, and making sure that we have fewer and better tests, that we maintain accountability, we maintain rigor, but we also don't test and drill. We want to make sure that we have a reasonable balance. The second issue is ensuring that we still have quality school choice. School choice really assists our students in meeting the needs of our individual students. Warehousing students in a one-size-fits-all simply does not work in this economy. And then the third issue is dealing with digital classrooms. We are moving to a technology-based era, an information-based era. We want to be sure that our educational system has those skills and resources to work in a digital classroom environment, a technology-rich environment, because those are the skills that they're going to need for the jobs of tomorrow.
Senator, you mentioned testing, and that's certainly a big conversation that's going on, not just here in Tallahassee, but frankly around the states, and in some cases at home and with parents and students and teachers in their own living rooms. And so we know there's the possibility that there could and should be fewer and better tests, as you said. The business community also believes it's important that we don't retreat as a state from high standards and high accountability. What will that look like?
It looks first, you're correct. I mean, we need fewer and better tests, and we've gone overboard. And I call it the bureaucrats have interpreted the statutes to the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. And we're looking at it in four key areas of rolling back and making sure that we have fewer, better tests, but maintaining accountability. The first is a reversal of a 1999 law that requires an end-of-course local assessment for every subject area. You have some districts out there that are over-interpreting the statute that interprets that, meaning that a kindergartner has to take an end-of-course exam for every subject area: math, science, English, language arts. And what we're saying is, though, that's not what the intent of the law is. It's to have reasonable assessments. So we're going to reverse that 1999 law, but still maintain quality assessments in English, language arts, and math grades 3 through 10. The second part that we're looking at is our teacher evaluation system as a component of that. And current law says that it's 50% of a teacher's evaluation is based on student data. We're going to roll that back to a third, or our intent is to roll it back to a third. And then the rest of the two-thirds is based on principal observation, peer evaluation, or other forms of evaluations for the teacher to ensure quality, but yet maintain a student component as well in terms of that teacher evaluation piece. The third part is a cap on the total number of assessments that a student can take that are statewide or district-wide. We're proposing, as a starting conversation, a 5% cap of hours, which is about 45 hours a year. We believe that's reasonable. That makes it a priority. And finally, what it does is it makes sure that districts actually inventory the number of assessments that they're putting on to their students. And the final piece is ensuring that we have a smooth transition this year. You know, we are going to a computerized assessment model, which I believe is the right way to go. But like anyone who boots up their computer in the morning, there's always technology problems. And we want to make sure that as we move to that transition, that we have the adequate relief valves in order to make a smooth transition.
Chairman, my last question for you is a glimpse into the future. The Florida Chambers Foundation has pointed out that we will need the talent to fill nearly 2 million more jobs by the year 2030. In Florida, for the last number of decades, school choice has been a big avenue for how we got more students ready for the workforce. Recently, there's been some lawsuits filed to try to block a certain type of scholarship that helps mostly low-income families have that option. What do you have to say about the importance of school choice and that lawsuit?
School choice is critical. There's no way that the traditional public school system, a one-size-fits-all model will work. We all demand choice, whether it's what restaurants we do, what clothes we buy. We are a society that demands choice. Why don't we allow that choice for our educational system? And sadly, the wealthy have choice. The wealthy are the ones that have choice out there. They will opt out and go to a private school that they can afford if the current public system is not meeting their needs. We want to make sure that the low-income individuals of our state have that same equity of access and that they can have that same choice. It's not to say our public schools aren't quality, but sometimes a one-size-fits-all model just doesn't meet the needs of everyone. And we want to make sure that we have individualized educational opportunities for everyone in our state.
Chairman, thank you for the work you do on this important area. Thank you for the partnership. And to our members, thank you for joining us on another edition of the Florida Chambers Bottom Line.